Let us welcome them with a big Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Hare. Welcome, Prabhu. Welcome, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, you all can hear us?
Very clearly. Very
Oh, great, okay. Jai. Krishna's mercy. Thank you so much for the kind introduction and for inviting us for this class to your Nandini Bhakti Vriksha. So as you said that we'll have 10 minutes of kirtan. So my good half is here, Banu. So she will lead the kirtan and then I will play the mridang. Not so great, but we'll do something to give pleasure to the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just moved because Prabhu is going to speak and I will join later.
Okay. Okay.
I've given her a few minutes to also come and speak.
Yeah.
So from the subject itself, she will come and then she'll speak on some tattva.
Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Adhyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagvajatam Sahagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Okam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girimet Kapatam Hamde Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya Himanga Divyat Shri Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Hare Krishna. Thank you once again, Vishaka Mataji, to have given us this opportunity to come and speak on Bhagavad Gita. Always a great opportunity when you get a chance to speak about Krishna's Vani, what Krishna has spoken. So I will try to touch base upon Sambandha, Abhidya and Prayojan Tattva from the slide itself. I don't know if you're having the slide so that others can see. If not, then I'll just speak. I have the slide in front of me, so I'll relate that slide and then I'll speak on that. So just a recap from what you spoke on the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita. Last time it was very nice that you spoke. And I think the slide covers so many topics. What's important is when you're talking of the Bhagavad Gita, why was the Bhagavad Gita commentary actually had to be written by Srila Prabhupada again? And you mentioned over there that there were so many commentaries and Srila Prabhupada had to bring in the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita. And what was missing was the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita. We generally get to see in something called as the Gita Sar. When you probably go to, some flyers are given across, or maybe in restaurants, people keep this, or in some shop they keep this, or on WhatsApp messages you get this Gita Sar. So generally people think that the Gita Sar itself is the real meaning of the Bhagavad Gita, but actually that's not the real meaning, because the Gita Sar explains certain things which are not actually mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Like, what have you bought? What will you take back? All these, aapne kya leke aaya, aap kya leke jaoge? Or jo hua acha hua. All these kinds of notions that have come in is all, speculative understanding that people have bought in Gita Sar. But this real spirit of the Gita is to actually understand who Krishna is. What is the real understanding of Bhagavad Gita through Krishna? Who actually is Krishna? That is very important, because if you see from the Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 characters. One is Dhritarashtra, another is Sanjay, third is Arjun, and fourth is Krishna. So whenever they have spoken, you will always see that Vyasadeva is very specifically mentioned. If Dhritarashtra spoke, it was Dhritarashtra Vacha. If it was Arjun, it was Arjuna Vacha. If it was Sanjay, it was Sanjay Vacha. But when Krishna spoke, it was never Krishna Vacha. It was very clearly mentioned Sri Bhagavan Vacha. So the real meaning of Krishna is that Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. And what's the meaning of Bhagavan? I think last time Vishaka Mataji very nicely explained from the verse by Parashar Muni, and she asked the question also that who is the father of Vyasadeva, and they mentioned Parashar Muni, he's the father of Vyasadeva, and he mentioned this wonderful verse, Aishwaryasya samagrasya virasya yasho shriya jnana vairagyam chaiva shannam bhagai tingana, that there's 6 opulences in unlimited quantity, asim matra. Mataji, English is okay, right? Because I saw in your presentation you sometimes spoke Hindi as well. So there are Hindi-speaking audience as well?
It's perfectly okay, Prabhu. You can please feel comfortable in.
Okay, Mota.
Yeah.
All right, Mataji. So fine. So the opulences of the Lord, Aishwarya, is like unlimited, and there are mainly 6, and beauty, fame, wealth, strength, knowledge. And then the most that I kind of like is the renunciation part, that Krishna has got all of this in full opulence, and he's got one more opulence, and that is renunciation. He's able to renounce whatever position he is because of his love for his devotee. Like we understand that Krishna's another name is Parthasarthi. He's the one who rode the chariot for his dear devotee Arjuna. Another name is Bhakta Vatsal. That Krishna is he is like the servant of the devotee. Aham bhakta paradino, that I am Ajita. I cannot be conquered, but I am very easily conquered by the love of my devotee. So this is the spirit of Bhagavad Gita that we're talking, that when you take the medicine that is offered by the doctor, then the prescription given by the doctor, when you take it, has a very nice and a perfect effect. But if you take it whimsically, then it might not have the effect. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita must be understood based on the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita, and that's the spirit that who is Krishna. And this is exactly what in some time I'm going to speak on the process of Sambandha, Vidya and Prayojan Tattva from the Bhagavad Gita. So this is important. And how Krishna explained that what is the quality of understanding the Bhagavad Gita? The quality of understanding the Bhagavad Gita is Bhakto Sime Saka Cheti Rahasyam Hi Edat Uttamam, which is that you become a friend and you become a devotee. Then you are able to understand the Bhagavad Gita. That is what is important. Bhakto Sime Saka Cheti. You become a Sakha, become a friend, and Bhaktaha, become a devotee. Now, what does it mean to become a devotee, and what does it mean to become a friend? To become a devotee means to engage in devotional service to the Lord, which is to engage in bhakti, and that is the meaning of devotee, to do devotional service. And then in the process of that devotional service, your heart starts getting purified, and then you become in those different rasas that you spoke about, Shanta ras, Dasya ras, Vatsalya ras, Madhurya ras, all these different mellows that are there, they get, manifested. But the initial process is the bhava of dasya. So you start with the process of serving the Lord, engaging yourself in devotional service. Bhakto sime saka cheti rahasyam hi etat uttamam. Then what happens is, when you engage yourself in devotional service, then this knowledge which is there in the Bhagavad Gita, it becomes manifested. It is revealed. Rahasya, it's a secret. You take the book and you try to read it. Maybe you'll be able to understand, maybe you will not be able to understand. But even if you're able to understand it, the Tattva Gyan will not be very clear, because the process of bhakti is not being followed. As you've explained in one of the charts, that there are three types of transcendentalists. One is a yogi, one is a jnani, and one is a bhakta. So we are not here trying to become a jnani. The Vedic knowledge is not meant for research purpose. When you try to do research, you try to do analysis. When you try to do analysis with your knowledge that you've received from schools, from colleges, from the society in general, it might not get very clear. So this knowledge which is there is called realized knowledge. The knowledge is realized. This knowledge is revealed. Like how Lord Brahma states in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave, that this knowledge has been revealed within the heart. So this bhakti knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is revealed within our heart, which means when the heart is engaged in the process of bhakti, then automatically knowledge follows. When you start the process of bhakti, automatically knowledge will follow. And you will start getting the understanding. Why does this happen? This happens because the heart is getting purified. So, and jnanis generally try and speculate. They try and speculate the process of who God is and all this. So, the knowledge that is revealed from the scriptures is received through the parampara system, through the process of Shravan, and of course through the process of scriptures as well. But these scriptures are revealed only when the teacher teaches you, someone who comes from the parampara system. And this is why parampara system is very important. So we are not trying to become a jnani. Here we are not trying to become a yogi. A yogi is somebody who will be meditating on the Paramatma. Is it practical in this age? Very difficult to practice. The reason is why? Because you need a very serene place. You need a place which is very pure. So this is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna said to Krishna that this process of dhyan is not possible in this for me. Please give me something more practical. Because he says, I'm not able to control the mind. A yogi is one who's able to focus his mind on the Paramatma. He's trying to see the Paramatma within the heart. But it's extremely difficult. The process of bhakti, on the contrary, is very, very sulabham. It is very easy to perform. This can be performed in different age, in all ages. A jnani, when a person is small, he cannot follow the process of Gyan Yoga. A person who's small, very difficult process, follow the process of Dhyan Yoga. But a small child very easily is able to process, to perform the process of bhakti. You can see, small boys chanting, you can see young, you can see middle-aged women, you can see old people, all getting in the process of chanting the holy name of the Lord. So it is possible for all age groups. It is possible to do at home process of bhakti. It is possible to do at your gym. It is possible to do at your workplace. It is possible when you're walking. Everything is possible. How is it possible? By Shravan, by hearing about Krishna Katha. Just like now, how what we're doing? We are sitting in, I'm sitting in Dubai, you are sitting in Delhi and maybe other places in Delhi. And you are able to actually listen to Katha. So this is very, very easily possible sitting at home. Whereas the process of Dhyan Yoga, there are certain rules and regulations, yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana. Very, very difficult to follow in this age of Kali Yuga. Then Gyan processes of research, not many people can follow this process. So we are here trying to become a bhakta, a devotee of the Lord. That is what Krishna says. Krishna never said that bhakto sime sa. He never said that jnano sime sakacheti. He never said yogi. He never said dhyan sakacheti. He said bhakto sime. He said become my devotee. So to become my devotee means to actually follow exactly what Krishna has spoken in the Bhagavad Gita. And this is exactly what is important. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are 700 verses, of which Krishna has spoken the maximum around 595 around. Then you have Arjuna speaking around 40 questions. Then Sanjaya speaking the rest, and Dhritarashtra speaking one of the first verse. So the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita is rahasyam, is a secret. And this can be revealed, this knowledge can be revealed when actually we engage in the process of devotional service. And there are devotional services, Navavidha Bhakti. There are 9 processes of devotional service. And one of the process is Shravanam. Shravan means to hear, then Kirtanam, then Smaranam, to think, then Archanam, to sing the glories of the Lord, Vandanam, offering prayers. Archanam is to offer, offerings to the Lord in the deity form. Dasyam, to offer in the service of the mode of a servant. Sakhyam, as a friend. And Atma Nivedanam is to complete surrender to Krishna. So these are different processes of the Navavidha Bhakti. And the first process is Shravana. And that is what Arjuna is actually teaching us. Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita is teaching us that he was all ears to what Krishna is speaking. Initially in the first chapter, Arjuna spoke. Krishna just spoke one of the verses, that's all. But Arjuna spoke most of the verses, Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra. But then the second chapter, Arjuna actually got bewildered. He completely got confused. He didn't know what to do. And he was completely, in his own knowledge, he gets confused. And then he says, Shishyasteham shadi mam tuam prapannam. Oh Krishna, karpanya dosha. There is something I am not able to understand what is correct and what is right. Please give me the most correct understanding. Shreya, give me the topmost understanding. Shreya is the topmost understanding, everlasting, which means in principle it never changes. In all ages, in all time to come, this knowledge does not change. This is why it's called Shreya Uttamam. It's the topmost. There is Shreyas and there is Preyas. Preyas is short-term gains, but Shreyas is long-term gains. And Shreya Uttamam, the topmost, Uttama. Uttama means beyond Tamagun. So Arjuna says, "Oh Krishna, I'm surrendered to you. Now you please tell me what is correct." And it is only when he surrendered to Krishna is when Krishna actually spoke the Bhagavad Gita. When he spoke the Bhagavad Gita, it's not that he did not ask further questions. He of course asked a lot of questions to Krishna again and again. He kept on asking, "Please tell me." He kept on asking Krishna various questions. Why was he asking various questions? He was actually putting himself as one of us. We have so many questions. We are sometimes bewildered. Did I use the word right? Sometimes, or we are always bewildered. We're confused. We don't know what is right. We don't know what is wrong. We are at times proud that yes, what decisions I take are correct. Could be not. But if those decisions do not actually give us Shreya Uttamam, the topmost benefit, then even short-term benefit, what is the use? What is the value? We all understand when we go and buy certain electronic goods, we discuss with the shopkeeper, "Boss, I want lifetime guarantee." No one says, "I want a short-term guarantee." Everyone says lifelong guarantee. So the Bhagavad Gita gives us this lifelong guarantee. What is that Shreya Uttam, lifelong guarantee? The lifelong guarantee is that we actually understand our real position. We actually understand what our real position is, who we are. And actually this is where I wanted to come across to the process of these three aspects, which is Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. Of course, Vishaka Mataji spoke about the 5 rasas from the last time that he spoke on, but we won't get into that now. But probably we will just get into the process of Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. What is the meaning of Sambandha? Sambandha means to Sambandha, to understand one's relationship. One's relationship with whom? Before I understand my relationship with somebody, I need to understand who am I? Main kaun? Who am I? So when I actually understand who am I, then I try to intrigue and ask, who is my source? What is my source? And then I get the understanding. So then this relationship tries and becomes complete. So the Sambandha Tattva actually means who am I? Atauto Brahma Jigyasa, which actually means who am I? Am I this body or am I something within this body? And that is what the Bhagavad Gita teaches us. As Vishaka Mataji explained that there are 5 topics in the Bhagavad Gita. One of the topic is Ishwar, one of the topic is Jiva, one of the topic is Prakriti, one of the topic is Kala, and one of the topic is Karma. So Sambandha Gyan means who am I, which actually means what is really my nature within this body, and Krishna very nicely explains in the Bhagavad Gita, very, very clearly explains who we are. There are various verses that Krishna speaks on who we are. So this is extremely important. And then who is my source? Where do I come from? And we understand that we are actually part and parcel of this, of Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, we'll talk about that verse later, but then what's important is who is Krishna? And this Bhagavad Gita actually teaches us who Krishna is. Krishna states the fact about who he is. What's his position? Who are the Devtas? What's their position? What's this Prakriti? How is the Prakriti manifested? How the Prakriti unmanifested? Who is supervising all of this? All of this is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So this Sambandha Tattva is extremely, extremely important to understand our relationship with Krishna. If this relationship is not understood, then the whole meaning of Bhagavad Gita is not understood, is really not understood. In the process of Gyan, in the process of knowledge, yes, we understand that Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Mama Vamshaha, Amshaha, we are the Amsha of Krishna. So when I am the Amsha of Krishna, this is a knowledge aspect. But do I really realize that I am actually the Amsha of Krishna? No, I don't realize that I am the Amsha of Krishna. Why do I don't realize that I am the Amsha of Krishna? Is because I am associated strongly with this body. I think that I am this body. I think that I am within this body. If I am this body, then the various identifications that come along with this body, that I am Indian. Within India, I am, from Bombay, or from Bombay, I am from so and so place. And then different castes, different creeds, and so many of these things come about. So this point, Krishna here very clearly is giving, this Bhagavad Gita gives us this knowledge that we are not this body. And this is the beginning of spiritual knowledge, that we are not this body. We are the spirit soul. So who am I? I am not this body. I am the spirit soul. And the spirit soul, if it's spirit soul, if it's a spirit, then what are the qualities of the spirit? And the qualities of the spirit is that the soul is Sat Chit Ananda. Sat, Chit and Ananda. He is actually full of eternity. He is eternal. He is Nitya. He doesn't die. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita. Na hanyate. He does not get disturbed. Hanyamane sharire. The sharir, the body, gets destroyed, but not the soul. The soul is eternal. That is the eternal aspect. Sat Chit. He is full of knowledge. This soul is full of knowledge. Which means, what is this full of knowledge? He understands who Krishna is. He understands what's his position with Krishna, that he is a servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarupoy Krishna Nityadas, that he is, his Swarup is that he is the servant of Krishna. And this Swarup does not change in course of time. This Swarup is in principle, is eternal. This position cannot be changed. So the soul is Jivera Swarupa, he is Nitya Krishna Das. Then his position is that he is the servant of Krishna. So this is important. And who is Krishna? Krishna is what then Bhagavad Gita Krishna explains, that Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. He is the source of both the material and spiritual worlds. Mataha Parataram Nanyat. That Krishna says that there is no superior truth. He is the Param Satya. He is the supreme truth. He is the absolute truth. Krishna establishes this. Even Arjuna actually goes on to say, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhava. There's one of the slides that Vishaka Mataji explained, that Krishna is the Param Brahma. He is the Param Dhama. He is the eternal abode. He is the Param Brahma. He is the supreme spirit soul that Krishna is. Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhava. He is the purest. So if he is pure and if we are part and parcel of Krishna, what are we then? We are also pure. Pure means to understand this eternal relationship of ours with Krishna. But the impure state, the impure consciousness is what? Is that we don't understand this, that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We think that we are product of this material world. We are product of India. We are product of, of specific caste, a specific creed. We think ourselves like this. One of the devotees said a very nice point that if you actually want to understand that you're advancing in spiritual life, is that we are not this body, which means our identifications, I'm Indian, I'm American, all this does not come about. And how you can measure this? You can measure this when, and he said this, he was telling an Indian audience, so generally Indian audience, they love to watch cricket. And he said that if between India and Pakistan match, if Pakistan wins, the person is never morose. Then you can understand that the person has actually made some spiritual advancement. Because immediately we start identifying, he's Pakistan, it's a different place, different country. Well, it's the covering that is different. The spirit soul within the body is pure in nature, pavitram, just like Krishna is very pure. See, the process of Bhagavad Gita, in this process of Sambandha Gyan, is to actually understand who and what our relationship with Krishna is. And this can only happen when you start getting purified. This can only happen when your consciousness starts getting purified. What does it mean that the consciousness is getting purified? The consciousness getting purified means that now at the present, this body, when we identify with this body, then it is material consciousness. And along with this, anything that is associated with, then it is material consciousness. But when the jiva within this body is practicing devotional service, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, serving the deities, offering bhoga to the Lord, when we start doing this, what is happening? These different layers of consciousness is getting opened up, it's getting purified. And when it starts getting purified, then you start manifesting your real consciousness, which is pavitra, which is very, very pure. That's why it is said that to associate with devotees who are pure devotees is one of the best association or sangha that you can get. Because the devotee is nirmat saranam satam. He is nirmal. He is very, very pure. He is very, very pure. Which means he'll have one of the finest qualities that will manifest within his, within his living. You can actually see this, and this is what makes a devotee very, very attractive. A devotee does not want anything from you, nothing. He's not interested in anything material. He is only interested in giving Krishna. Krishna dite paro. He is always wanting to give Krishna to you. What does it mean, always wanting to give Krishna to you? Means he's wanting to give Krishna's knowledge to you. He wants to give Krishna's holy name to you. And this is why we see sadhus, they're chanting the holy name during this COVID time, and they're engaging others to chant the holy name. So the point is that we have in our spiritual journey, or the introduction to Bhagavad Gita actually teaches us to become pure. To become pure means to actually come to our original position. And what is that original position? To become the servant of Krishna. So this is the Sambandha Gyan. And how do you become pure? That is the next stage, which is the stage called the Abhidaya Tattva. And what is that Abhidaya Tattva? The Abhidaya Tattva is the process to become pure. And what is that process? In this age of Kali Yuga, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, Kale dosha nide rajan asti hi ek mahan guna. That this Kali Yuga is full of faults. Full of faults. It's an ocean of faults. It's an ocean of faults. And in this ocean of faults, there is a pearl. There is this beautiful pearl. And what is that? That is the chanting of the holy name. That is very, very pure. All these impurities are the faults, but the purity is the holy name of the Lord. So when you actually chant Krishna's name, then what happens is slowly and steadily your heart is getting cleansed. And this is the process. Vidunohti Suratsatam means it is a cleansing process that is going on. You might probably not know of it, but then actually it is happening. When you start chanting the name of the Lord, it is having its effect on the heart. It's just like Prabhupada explains, just like when you take a medicine. As soon as you take a medicine, you do not know how the medicine is reacting in the body, but you immediately come to know that you're getting relieved of your sickness. So this is the process of Abhidaya, that the chanting, not only chanting, then engaging yourself in devotional service, cooking, preaching, singing for the Lord, inviting friends, just like how Vishaka Mataji has done. She's inviting friends. There are new people around here. They are all getting the opportunity to listen about Krishna. This is Parokar. This is the greatest welfare activity that one can do. She is helping us regain our original consciousness. It is not just help to the body. Generally, people help others by giving them food, giving them clothes, giving them shelter. This is a very nice thing to do, but this, what we're doing is, we're just doing short-term gain. We're just doing prayers. We're not doing Shreyas. The Shreyas Uttamam is to actually bring them to the real position that you're the spirit soul and your engagement is to serve the supreme spirit soul, that is Krishna. So this is what is important. So this is the Abhidaya Tattva. Vishaka Mataji, I'm sorry, you came on the screen. You had something to say?
No, not at all, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna. And then all this process of Abhidaya and Sambandha, what does it lead to? It has to lead to the final stage, which is the Prayojan or the Phalaswarup. What is that? And that is Prema, to develop love for Krishna. And this is exactly the reason why Bhagwad Gita, Srila Prabhupada had to write the commentaries. The 700 verses are the same, but the commentaries given by different versions and editions of the Bhagavad Gita don't make devotees of the Lord. You might probably read it and you might keep the book. But the Bhagavad Gita as it is given by Srila Prabhupada is so pure because Krishna, Srila Prabhupada only gave Krishna through Krishna's knowledge. Exactly how Arjuna understood it. And how is that? Because Arjuna at the end of listening to Bhagavad Gita very clearly said that Nashta Moha Spriti Labdva, that my Moha, Nashta Moha is Nashta, is finished, is gone. Just like how we all are. We are all having different bewilderments, different plans. We don't know what is right, what is wrong. Now COVID has come. In fact, one of my clients was telling that COVID has come. It has made people not to think of the future. It has made people to think of the present. Because when you start thinking about the future, you start getting stress levels. Your stress levels go high. But COVID has taught you to live for the present because so many people passed away just because COVID came in. So all this kind of tattva is coming in now. So they want to live by the present. And the present, which means the art of living. And what is the art of living? Is to follow the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. This is the Prayojan Tattva. That you start developing love for Krishna. This is what is important. This is what is the Bhagavad Gita, the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. And this is the real spirit. So, so many editions, not making devotees. Srila Prabhupada's commentary, making devotees, is because it's in a pure form. And when you follow this, you start realizing it yourself. It's not something that, as they say, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. So when you start reading Bhagavad Gita, not just for knowledge purpose, but applying it in your lives sincerely. When you apply in your life sincerely, how much of our faults is there, that doesn't really matter. Krishna doesn't see the fault. In the Vishnu Sahasranam, there is one of the names of the Lord is Nimeshaya and Animeshaya, which means that the Lord closes his eyes and opens his eyes. So one devotee was explaining that why does the Lord close his eyes and opens his eyes? He explained that the Lord closes his eyes because he doesn't want to see the faults of the devotees. And he opens his eyes is because he wants to, very widely, he wants to see the beautiful quality of a devotee. So the Lord is so kind. He just sees our intent. And this is why Krishna is called Bhavgrahi Janardana, that he accepts the mood of a devotee. Not the chapan bhog, but the mood of a devotee, what is being offered. So if the mood is pure, Krishna accepts it. Just like Vidur and Vidurani. We all know the story that Vidurani gave the plantain leaf and Krishna ate the plantain leaf. And immediately Vidura said, Krishna, don't eat. No, this is banana, please have. And Krishna ate the banana leaf. Why? Because it was offered with so much love. So this is how Krishna is. Krishna is so kind. He's a kind father. The father wants to do the best for his children. Similarly, Krishna, we are all children of Krishna. Krishna is Aham Bija Padapita. He's the seed-giving father of all living beings. He never mentions that he is the seed-giving father of only Hindus. He says all living beings. Sarva Yoni, including the cockroach at your home, including all the insects, including the plants. Everyone, Krishna is Aham Bija Padapita. Krishna is extremely kind. So, just as how Krishna is pure, Pavitram, Krishna is very kind, Karuna. Similarly, the devotee is also very kind. The devotee is also very pure. He's always trying to help others, give them the Shreya Uttama, the topmost benefit. So this is the concept, Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojan concept, which is there in the Bhagwad Gita. And this is what, Krishna is giving us. And this is what exactly we should, apply in our lives. Bhagavad Gita is not just meant for, becoming a jnani, but it is actually bhakto sime sakachit. You become a devotee. And how you can become a devotee? When you follow Krishna's instructions. Only by the process of bhakti can one actually engage in devotional service and understand Krishna. I want to just touch base upon, and I'll invite Banu to just touch base upon a practical, of course the devotees are all practical on how the process of Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojan is working. But I specifically want to call Banu to speak about one specific devotee who has just recently come in, and then she's able to see how Krishna's mercy is flowing. Banu, please come. Hare Krishna. With this, I'll stop, but then I'll request Banu to come and speak for a few minutes. And if there are any question answers, then I'll take after that. Hari.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I'll speak about my ex-colleague. We were working in the Music Institute in dance, and I was working as a ballet teacher, and she is a HR lady, and I didn't know about her so much because I was just busy with the teaching. And then I decided to discontinue with companies. This is how I got in touch with her more closer. And first, of course, her name is Somya Radha. It means tender Radha. And when I came to know about her beautiful name, I don't know, I just suddenly spoke to her on phone and I said, do you know what is the meaning of your name? She said, yes, I know. And I started speaking about Krishna, and she was telling me, it's just smile comes on my face when I hear that you are the foreigner and you're speaking about Krishna and you have so much knowledge. I'm really, really feeling so happy to hear who is not Indian but has so much knowledge. So like this, we started keeping in touch, and she is now become really a wonderful devotee. And I was telling my Prabhu how I feel so happy. There is a lot of satisfaction in my heart. The Radha, Soumya Radha, she grabbed the mercy of Shri Krishna, and she grabbed this mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And now she is just recently I spoke to her and she is saying, I'm feeling so much of satisfaction in my heart. I feel so relaxed. I feel so peaceful because I have enough firm faith into Krishna. And I'm like become completely devoted of Krishna, because before she was telling her history, she was an atheist. She was not even visiting the temples and not going even inside the temple. No, but see how she said I like become from extreme to extreme, like and moreover she's took very seriously the process. She started chanting, she started reading Bhagwad Gita, she started listening all Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada lectures. She started doing seva, she started preaching to neighbors immediately, even though she is so new in the Krishna consciousness, and she herself admit, I don't have so much knowledge, but somehow Krishna started reciprocating with her, and this is what Prabhu was saying, that is sambandha. Sambandha, when is a connection with Krishna is established, and she is feeling that connection, and she is feeling how Krishna responds to her prayers. Even now she's, of course, she's like, she's gone through so much of stress because of, she lost the job and she didn't have anything, how to live. And somehow by Krishna's mercy, we become very much in close in contact. So we try to help in all ways, of course, unconditionally. And this also gives us so much of pleasure and satisfaction. So she started preaching to others, and she's feeling like, I'm feeling so happy and relaxed because I know now I should not worry for anything. You know, I just surrendered to Krishna. How Krishna decide, in that way I live my life. Krishna he is the main person with whom now I'm reciprocating, for whom I want to do a lot of seva. I feel like I start loving Krishna. So this is a practical application. It's like practically we can see how the Radha, she feels very happy by getting this mercy of Shri Krishna, you know, and by being associating with devotees. So that's practical application. And do you want me to speak something else more? I know Vishaka Mataji, is there more time?
Yeah, we can take questions if the audience has any.
Sure. Then Prabhu is going to answer all questions, and
No, you can stay, no problem.
Because he is a very good in answering the questions. You know, I have maybe practical things like, and when Prabhu was speaking, of course, there is so many things. I was remembering even in my life how when Krishna came in my life, how Krishna was, you know, because of we forget the things, how much Krishna does for us, you know, how kind he is. And practically, I remember one incident I just will share with you, even my Prabhu doesn't know. Once I was traveling to Russia. There is a festival like in the Poland, and, you know, festival like the devotees are preaching to kind of hippies, you know, singers, Krishna consciousness. So for the first time we went, it was just, I don't know, it was in 90s, and Guru Maharaj wanted that we come and we dance, we make some nice dance program. So we went and we stayed there. We were staying in the tent, and I didn't know when you have to sleep on the ground, you have to put under your mat a lot of dry grass that, you know, like your body will not get any problems. So I didn't know, I just was putting my mat on the ground without you know, making the grass arrangement under me. So what's happened? I got some, I think some kidney, I got cold and probably it affected my kidney and my kidney stopped working. But that time, because I was so young and so enthusiastic, I didn't care what's happening to my body. I was just, okay, Krishna will take care. Maybe it sounds so fanatical, but in that case, you feel how much strong surrender and how much faith you have that Krishna really takes care. And actually, I couldn't go to toilet. My full body was swollen like a balloon. And still, I looking at my body, still I was feeling like, okay, Krishna will take care. Krishna will do something, because I didn't have any money. I didn't know anyone in Russia. I didn't know to whom to go, which doctor I have to visit, and all these things was there. But I was just completely left to Krishna. And then what's happened, one Mataji came, she said, Bhanu, we have one Mataji who can treat you just by putting her hands, and she can treat you. I said, okay, let me go and see. So I came to that Mataji. She's Russian Mataji, devotee, very, very nice. In that time she was quite elder in age, and she started treating me by hands. So she put her hands on my kidney, and she said, now your kidney will work. So after that, she really treated me, and I started like going to toilet. I started like urinating, at least some water started coming out from my body. And then I felt, wow, look at this, how Krishna saved me actually. If I would not, you know, if I would not come to this Mataji, if I would not have that faith, probably I would even leave my body, because it was serious issue. And that time, because I was just 25 years old, I was not realizing how serious was the issue, that my kidney stopped working, you know, and then actually in 1 week I could die. And I was outside of my country, out of my hometown. This is how Krishna takes care. And there's so many incidents in my life where really Krishna protected me. It's the most dangerous situation in my life. And then one day I was like almost crying. I've been emotional. I was thinking how Krishna I could forget all this. You were very kind. I'm sorry. I got emotional. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bo. No, this is so true. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna really shows his kindness, and devotees. This is the reciprocation of bhakti. It's never one-sided. It's both ways. You do ye atamam prapate. As you surrender to Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. So Hare Krishna. With this, I will stop here. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Vishaka Mataji, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Prabhu and Bhanu Mataji, and especially Bhanu Mataji for sharing her personal life experience, because nothing stirs faith more than one's personal life experience.
True, true.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And as always, your class is always so easy to understand. Even the most difficult tattva is broken down in a very simple way. So thank you so much for
all Srila Prabhupada's and Guru Maharaj's mercy.
Yes.
We are not qualified.
Yeah. And I would request...
there was one Mataji, she wrote, Sheetal Mataji, can I ask a question? That's what she wrote.
Yes, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
It would be nice if you can switch on your video, if possible.
Yes. Actually, I was out somewhere, but just
trying
to listen to the class. Okay, so I feel so emotional and touched by the way Mataji explained her own example, and I think it's totally true that जैसा हमारा भाव होता है, so Krishna reciprocates the same way. Prabhuji, I have a question that, sometimes in life we go through very bad times, or we have very painful experiences. In spite of the fact that we come into bhakti and we start understanding and following, the path of devotion, but those experiences, or that that fear does not always leave us. What does it mean? That is it that our faith in Krishna is weak, or are we not doing our devotional service properly? What exactly does it mean, and how can we overcome those fears? That's my question.
Hare Krishna. So certain, if I can repeat your question, certain incidents in your life that has happened, these incidents in your life, it keeps coming, and you're not able to, in your devotional service, these incidences that you have, they keep coming in and keep disturbing you. Is that what I can understand?
No, the question is that that fear which has possibly you developed because of those certain situations life. If you're not able to get rid of those fears, so how can we overcome those fears?
Hare Krishna. Generally, whatever incidences that has happened in our life, good or bad, they remain as memories, and these memories actually stay back within the mind. And generally, the mind, as Krishna explains in the Bhagwad Gita, is that one who's not able to control the mind is the greatest enemy. And one who's able to control the mind is the greatest friend. So when these thoughts keep coming, one has to use his intelligence, because these thoughts are bad thoughts that are coming in. But these thoughts have happened in the past. So by thinking about it, what is it going to do? It's not going to help you at all. So how would you discriminate bad thoughts to right thoughts? It's only when the intelligence is in use. So that intelligence, as in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that higher than the mind is the buddhi, is the intelligence. Higher than the senses, indriyani parani ahur, indriyebhya paramanaha, manasastu parabuddhi. So manasastu parabuddhi. Higher, para is supreme. So higher than the mana is the buddhi. So one should use intelligence to discriminate. And that is the nature of intelligence. The nature of intelligence is to accept, to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. And the nature of the mind is to accept and reject. So mind has accepted now those bad situations, and they keep repeating in your life. And because of this, fear is generated. But when you actually use your intelligence to say, this is coming, it happened in the past, and now by me thinking about it, it's not going to really help me. But actually it is going to make me more depressed. It is going to make further actions of my life which could be detrimental to me and to others also. It could be hurting to me and to others also. So rather, I reject it. That's the nature of the mind. Accept and reject. So you reject it and you bring in positive thoughts. And what are the positive thoughts? Is to think of Krishna and pray to Krishna. Krishna, that situation happened in my life of which I'm very fearful. Please help me that I don't get this remembrance time and again. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mataha Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Where does this remembrance come? Krishna says remembrance comes from me. So when you pray to Krishna, Krishna, please let this bad thoughts remembrance don't come. Let good thoughts remembrance come. Good thoughts means to be associated with good people. What does good people mean? Good people means devotees. Why do we classify good people as devotees? Because they're giving Krishna. They're always engaging us in Krishna's service. Which does not mean that you have to give up your family life. It does not mean that you have to give up your friends. No, it means that you try and create an environment within your home as much as possible. Sometimes the husband is not very favorable, but seeing the wife's behavior, the husband will melt. If you have children, seeing the child seeing, because the parents are the first teachers of the children. So when the parents are good devotees, naturally children will follow. And when you create a good environment, when you create a good association of friends who are devotees, when you have good association of places that you go where you can think of Krishna, all of this will only help you to overcome that fear. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, the final verse, he says, Sarva dharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva pape moksha eshami ma suchaha. Ma suchaha. What does ma suchaha mean?
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Do not fear.
Correct. Don't worry. Don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. So you surrender to Krishna. And then you will be fearless. Because there are so many bhajans. There's one of the bhajans which is by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which says that Bhaja Hure Mana Srinandanandanam Abhaya Charanara Vindari. Abhaya.
The Supreme Lord.
Sorry. Krishna. Hare Krishna. Abhay Charnar Vindare. Abhay Charna means to become Abhay. So in the 26 qualities of a devotee, one of the qualities is Abhay. Abhay means to become fearless. And how he becomes fearless? When he becomes nicely situated in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Is that all right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone else? Do we have any more questions?
May I ask one question?
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
I want to ask that how can we improve our sadhana? Like I'm chanting, but I'm not happy with my quality of chanting, the amount of time I'm giving, or if I'm not able to give that much of time which I want to give. Then what is the correct way, or what is the ideal way to adjust with the family life and do our chanting as per Prabhupada's given guidance?
What's important is the family. What happens is we do not sometimes know what to prioritize. When I was listening to a devotee, he said that the important priority that what we have is, first is the health, then we should have is sadhana, and third is family. So family is very important priority. And then you have work, and then you have social service. So what happens is we forget health, we engage in sadhana, and sadhana is not so great because we engage in the last priority, which is social service, which is outside, going outside, doing programs, going to temples and doing so much of these services that we do. Then what happens is you neglect your family, you neglect work, you neglect your health, and everything then just goes minus. So family is extremely important because the closest to us, Mataji, is for me, it's my wife. For you, it's your husband, your parents, your children. So they are the first, the priority in helping or in doing any kind of social service. Any kind of help you first need to do is to help your family. Before that, of course, your health is important and your sadhana. So as you ask this question that how can I improvise my sadhana? It all works on time management. Because because this question itself is very encouraging as to, I know myself I'm not improving my sadhana. That means your sadhana is not coming to proper standard, which is actually very encouraging. So what you do is you try to focus on how you can do quality chanting. And how to do quality chanting is to actually do it in the morning hours. Morning hours, which means the Brahma Muhurt time, which is actually the best time to chant. Now, many a times because of family commitments, you have late night friend meetings, late night parties or whatever, I don't know. And then you might sleep late. So then naturally everything gets disturbed. But in all this, never get bothered. Like today, if you know that, yes, your priority is to chant in the morning and you do it for a couple of days. But then if your husband says that, no, we have a party, we have to go and meet somebody. So then you allow yourself, you go there, you do it. And let it not disturb your relationship, because your morning sadhana is going to get affected. Let it not show in front of your family. Because if you do that, then you're disturbing your family relationship. So on that particular night, if it was late and you wake up late in the morning, it's okay. Don't feel so morose. Don't feel so depressed. It's okay. On that particular day, you've given time. You have given previous night, you've given time for family. So you chant then during that whatever course of time is there. Never allow yourself to feel that you're bad in your sadhana. Never allow yourself to feel morose, because the time you feel you're morose, you will start getting off from doing your bhakti and sadhana. Bhakti and sadhana means always to be utsaha, to be enthusiastic. So never let the mind bog you down. Never let the mind bog you down. Rather work hard with the mind. And time management. Time management means to sleep early in the night and then wake up early in the morning. When you do this, then you will see that how your sadhana is really improving. And then with that improvement of sadhana, naturally the result of bhakti is that you're very happy. It shows on the face. Your mind is pacified, you're very happy. And then when you're happy, naturally family relationship are also very nicely taken care of. So this is some suggestions that I have thought of, Mataji.
Thank you so much for this. It was
Hare
very
Krishna.
helpful.
Hare Krishna. Vishaka Mataji, is there any other question?
So I
Okay,
don't think so.
there
Unless
is no.
someone
Okay,
wants to type, this is the last call. Else we'll close.
sure.
You may type your question if you want to. Otherwise, we'll close. Hema here wants to say something. Prabhu, she wants to thank you. She has joined us recently. I
Yeah.
think she was introduced to Krishna consciousness while she was in Colombo.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then we had the opportunity to meet, and now we are enjoying her association.
So she's in Delhi now?
Now she's in Gurgaon in my condo.
Oh, is it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Hare
So she
Krishna.
got associated.
Dandavat
She got
pranam.
Dandavat pranam. You got associated in Colombo.
Yeah, I got association.
Oh, very nice. Good. Good. Wonderful. Because generally, I understand that Sri Lanka food means a lot of fish,
Seafood, yeah.
seafood, lot of.
Yes.
But good in that environment, you had a good association with devotees. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes. Hare Krishna. And after coming here, I got a beautiful association of Vishaka Mataji.
Jai
So, yeah, it's Krishna's mercy.
Hare
I
Krishna.
just came here with the feeling that I should get a association, devotee association here. And it's all Krishna's plan that in my condo, I got Vishaka Mataji as my Shiksha Guru here, I can say.
Jai, very
And
good.
Nandini Bhakti Vriksha, all ladies are so cooperative. On behalf of them, I really thankful to you that you spend your valuable time with us. And all these three tattva you explain in a simple way, Prabhuji. Really very
My
good to
pleasure.
understand.
My pleasure to have associated with the devotees, really. It's very, very nice to associate like this with devotees, because now the association is only online.
Yeah.
because of COVID. What to do?
That's the big advantage, Prabhu. We could have a class with you.
Yeah, it, no,
Never
forget
thought-
about me. But then just the association online is so nice now. So many classes, so many programs are going on. So many devotees are joining in. New people are joining in. I heard from today's class, there were a lot of new people who joined in. Are they still joined in, or
Yes, there
do
are.
they have it? Do they have any questions? Because generally the new lot.
They do ask, yeah, but I think this is a shy lot.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not coming forth with their questions. So I've also given them the option to type it in
Yeah.
case they don't want to ask, and I will read the question on their behalf. Um,
Prabhuji, and one more big thank you, Haribol, for Mataji, Bhanu Mataji. Very
Yes.
blissful kirtan. Yeah,
Oh,
she
Jai.
did.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's generally a team, myself, my wife, and she leads the kirtan. She's wonderful kirtania, wonderful devotee. In fact, Vishaka Mataji said we are 20 plus. Of course, I'm 20 years, 99, I got introduced to Krishna consciousness. But my wife, she is 92.
whoa, Jai.
She's, I think, nearing 30 years now.
30 years, Jai. Well, she came in her teenage years. I think she was
Yeah. She was in, how old, Banu?
18,
15.
15. Oh,
School.
yeah, thank you so much, Bhanu Mataji, for sharing your life experience with us.
Hare Krishna.
It was heartwarming. Yeah. So the
She's
lady,
been generally having this headache recently, so that's
oh,
why she's holding her hand. So maybe we can pray for her that things get better.
we can pray for her right away. Can we all chant for Brajajana Prabhu and Bhanu Nandini Mataji? Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. 3 times. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much for your prayers. I hope I will be better because I don't know what's happened to my health these days.
She's just taking rest.
Yeah, we hope so too. I didn't know you're not well. I'm so sorry. Otherwise, we wouldn't have requested you to.
No, it's okay. It was pleasure. It was pleasure to sing kirtan and listen to Krishna Katha, Krishna topics. Yeah. It's
Thank you
pleasure.
so much, Mataji.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Mataji.
you, Prabhu.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you,
We hope
Prabhuji.
to
Thank
have
you
many
so
more
much.
classes with
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
So, ladies, I hope the class was, we finished the introduction with that today, and I hope the class was helpful. You've got a good overview of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and we are ready to start from chapter 2. Are we? I would like to ask Tina and Kushar, just a minute. Yeah. So our next class will be on Tuesday, and following class will be on Thursday. So every Thursday we do the shloks of the Bhagavad Gita in sequence, and every Tuesday we do the practical application of the Bhagavad Gita, wherein we read a passage and then there are questions and answers at the end of the passage which we discuss to understand the practical application of that passage, which is generally from the Bhagavad Gita, but also from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So with that, I welcome all the new people who have joined today, and I would appreciate if you would give us your feedback on the class that you heard, and how else would you like us to address your questions and the better understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. So thank you once again for joining us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Samiksha. Thank you, Sheetal.
Hari Bol, Mataji. Thank you very much for organizing this. It was a wonderful session. I truly enjoyed. Actually, I have heard him once in your house only. If you remember, I think which time pehle he had come. That was the first time I listened to him, and he really speaks so well, so simple, and yet so depthful. So really nice.
I like the practical application part, like the
Yes.
question that Neelam asked. And it was
Yes.
very nicely explained that our first
Yes.
priority is our health and then our family, and we get it all wrong. We completely
Absolutely.
health and neglect family.
Exactly opposite we work.
We do exactly the opposite. We run to the temple, neglecting our health and family. Pehle unhe dekhna hai, and then things will automatically fall into place. But we
But
do.
I have one question.
Yes.
I have one question, Mataji.
Yes.
जैसे we are like family priority हम कर रहे हैं या फिर तो उससे आसक्ति हमारी बढ़ती नहीं है. Didn't we get attached more and more attached?
So, like I said at the end of my sentence, of course, we do these things, but we do them mindfully. We do them in the light of the Bhagavad Gita. As we are reading Bhagavad Gita, you are understanding what is the right way to live, what is the right way to raise children, what is the right way to be a wife, a mother, a daughter-in-law. So we do it more mindfully, not like how people are leading their lives without understanding the goal of life. There is a difference in consciousness. That is why this is the Krishna consciousness is a movement of consciousness. You still do the same things, but you do them mindfully with a different goal, with a higher goal. So there is a difference in quality, and that we understand that practically how it has to be done. You keep Krishna in the center of your lives, and you conduct yourself and do all your duties. Automatically, there will not be undue or overdue attachment. Vis-a-vis, if there is no God, if your life is not God-centered, then there is attachment, and then all the miseries that attachment and those expectations. But if your life is God-centered, you know how to handle, where to draw the limit, and how to conduct or execute these duties. We are learning these with each verse, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are understanding कि इसको practically कैसे करना है. It's not just bookish, it's very much science. It's very scientific. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Hare Krishna. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
And,
Hare Krishna.
See you on Tuesday.
Hare Krishna.
Once again, thank you so much for